time to feel the rage. That really sounded weird.
You are weird.
You're a little weird, I'm not gonna lie.
Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And also we have the Murman.
Yo.
How you doing, Mur?
Fine.
Are you really doing fine?
No, but I'm faking it.
He's putting on
my happy face.
Yeah, something to be said for that.
Or as my good buddy Pharrell says, I'm happy.
All right.
Yeah,
Is Pharrell your good buddy?
it is now.
He is now, apparently.
Oh. There must be
Apparently
a
I
story.
misjudged him.
Yes.
Okay, well that can happen. I misjudge people sometimes.
But never do you misjudge Pharrell Williams.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, which we hope you do, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. Like we got to do this week. As long as it played anywhere in the world. Now,
What do you mean we ought to do this week?
we got dared to see a terrible movie for this week.
We saw Pulse.
Yeah. Terrible movie. Not the original Japanese version.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah.
There's always an original
It wasn't that bad.
Japanese version.
Okay, well, we're going to talk more about that. Apparently, Bryce is mentally challenged today. Let's get to raging. Or maybe not, in Bryce's case.
Comes the clown music.
Oh, this is circus music. What would the amazing man predict? What would the amazing man predict? Will he predict the rage or will he predict the mondo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce saw at the movie? Here he comes now, better watch out, kids. He's coming swimming too.
Ooh.
Swim, Murray, swim, Murray.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swim, Murray, swim, Murray.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swim all his way to your heart.
You're done.
I could go on for hours.
I know you could.
There's nothing better in the world than this song right
No,
here.
I disagree.
Well, I think our listeners should get back to us and tell us how much
How
do you
much
love this
they
song?
hate this song?
How much you love this song?
Yeah. Movies.
We
You guys
saw lots.
Lots of movies.
I saw
Including one
you.
you could not pay me $1,000 to see.
Nice.
Why would I pay you $1,000 to see a movie?
Because it's the only way you would get me in the theater to see this movie.
I would never do that, though. There's no movie ever that I would pay you
Exactly.
$1,000 to
Pay
see.
any number of seats
Yeah.
to see.
I might
It
pay
is,
you
yeah,
like $10 or
The
buy
latest-
your movie ticket, but
Joker movie.
oh,
Which,
Joker, yeah.
If I read this correctly, is Folie Deux. So that's like what?
Folie
Follies 2?
adieu.
Anyway,
Yep.
the, previous actor, Joaquin Phoenix,
Yes.
Yes.
adding that so-called singer/actress as Harley Quinn, which I still don't buy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
And considering how much I absolutely hate and despise these two,
Yep.
I'm guessing you guys loved the movie so much you gave it a mondo.
Okay.
So let's go double mondo on that one.
Sweet.
Even though it's a superhero film, technically, but it's
it's
not.
a super villain movie.
It's not Marvel, so I'm assuming at least one person died in this movie.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What'd you give it? What'd you say that we're giving that?
Two Mondos.
Mondo.
Two Mondos. Got it.
Nice to know you're with us.
I'm always with you, Murray.
Whitebird is next with Dame Helen Mirren and Gillian Anderson, who is in that sci-fi TV show a while ago.
The X-Files?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay. She was in the movie The X-Files, too.
I guess there was a movie too. Yeah. I don't know, a period piece. Like it was Germany, Nazis, Jews. I don't know what it was about, but it was like a flashback, and then this is like her son who's like picking on a kid who's got a facial thing.
Well, that was a different movie.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you're kind of mixing up.
No.
They do have the. It is about. Yeah, but he's not in it.
No, but there's a kid who has a deformity.
No, it's his.
No,
his
that's
Folie.
in the. That's the kid that's.
Oh, that was in her time.
No.
Oh,
there's no kid with a deformity.
There's no
I swear in the trailer I saw like a picture of a kid that either the grandson picked on or
the grandson did pick on him, but in a previous movie.
previous movie.
Yeah, Wonder from 2016.
This is a sequel to that.
Sort of, but not really.
Whatever.
It's complicated,
Yeah,
Mur.
no wonder I didn't see this. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jim gave it a meh because he doesn't really like period pieces very much. Bryce, I'm guessing we gave it a mondo.
All right.
Really? All right.
If he stayed awake for all
If
of
he
it.
stayed awake, which is always the question.
I did stay awake, I think.
Then we have a movie
Yeah,
that
I did.
me and Jim went to.
100%.
I don't know about Bryce.
Bryce did not go.
I
unless-
didn't
Did
go.
not go
No.
Nope.
to Die Alone.
That's right.
No.
Because I was at home getting ready for the Steelers game to start.
Are you
which
ready
was
for
on a
some football?
Rain delay by an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And Jim's like, want to go to a movie? And like, it's Die Alone. I'm like, well, I can't let you go to Die Alone alone. So, so yeah, I made my way out in the darkness of night to go to a late movie with him.
That's right.
Yeah, well, considering I was with you and I heard what you said about it as we were leaving, yeah, it was going to be a rage, and I think maybe the ending kind of saved it a bit, so that'll be a meh.
Okay.
Then there's Blank, which I hadn't heard of at all. Apparently it's a documentary.
Sure
It
is.
Kids with vision
It
problems.
sure is.
National Geographic. I don't know. Let's go double meh on that one.
Okay.
Meh.
Then we have A Different Man, which I have already seen.
Yes,
which
that's
I've
why we're bringing it up.
already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very unusual movie, as I remember. I think it's just so wacky. I think Jim would have loved it, so let's say with Mondo. And Bryce, maybe meh.
All right. We got our marching orders.
Again, I don't care.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about Folie Deux.
You don't care, and I care too much.
And
That's the problem.
I kind of am not a glass half full, half empty person.
You're a glass half full person.
I'm like, I just want to have more.
Whatever.
I always want more.
Yeah. As Britney Spears once said,
Give me more.
give me more. Give me more.
Right.
So
I'm
you
actually
talk about the Joker.
Joker Folie à Deux. I'm actually really curious to hear what you kind of thought of this because it's definitely a unique experience. I mean, there's no denying, in my opinion, that Joaquin Phoenix is great in this. Lady Gaga is a superstar and is a delight to watch in anything. Director Todd Phillips takes some big swings in this sequel to The Joker. I have never seen a musical supervillain courtroom drama until now.
Yeah.
I love that Lady Gaga's Lee, this universe's Harley Quinn, is the one the one driving the car here. There's no hee okay, Mr. J crap. You know, she's her own woman in this. She's large and in charge. I love that character. This is the type of film that I can see people hating. And especially if they had certain expectations going in. I personally thought this was brilliant. And I could watch Gaga and Phoenix share the screen all freaking day long. I love the chemistry between them. I thought they were both tremendous. I enjoyed the musical numbers. I thought everything fit. I'm surprised at this, but Joker Folie à Deux, I am giving a mondo.
All right.
And it's the uniqueness. It's the fact that I went in expecting one thing, and I'm glad I knew nothing going in. Like I didn't read that it was. I knew it was going to have some musical numbers in it, but I didn't figure it was going to be an all-out. And it's a wall-to-wall musical.
Because they have a pop singer in it.
Yes.
Well, she
Well,
doesn't sing in
She's
her
not
other movies.
gonna sing.
Well, she doesn't
Well,
sing
she didn't sing in House of Gucci.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm confused. Anyways, Lady Gaga.
You
once
also
again.
have Joaquin Phoenix, who played Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Who also
Okay.
sings in that movie. So yeah.
But I've seen a lot of movies where he doesn't sing
Yeah,
too.
but
Actually, most of
together.
his movies.
Yeah,
They're
he doesn't really sing too much.
I could have told you they were going to sing, mostly because the trailer had them both singing.
Yes, but did you think it was going to be an all-out musical?
No, but
No, exactly.
Again,
that was
don't
kind
care.
of my point, Mur.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Whatever.
I kind of understood your point
And
because I
anyways,
saw the movie.
it's worth saying one more time that Lady Gaga's awesome. And did you know that she actually is a singer? I didn't even know this. I thought she was just a really good
I'm
actress.
vaguely aware of that.
There's one thing that I like about. Well, there's a lot of things I like about Lady Gaga. In fact, I love her singing. Number one.
Okay.
And number two,
Yes.
I liked her meat dress, which I don't think you would. So
No, you wouldn't.
I'm like, if anyone's gonna wear a meat dress, it should be Lady Gaga because she's
don't
got
know
the
what that
legs
means.
for it. Yeah, because I imagine a dress made out of meat would be pretty damn heavy.
Okay. I'm uncomfortable with where this is going.
No doubt. Okay, so
No
Folie-
doubt. I thought that was Gwen Stefani.
No, that was Lady Gaga. Okay.
No doubt was Lady Gaga?
No doubt. No
Lady
doubt was
Gaga is
Gwen
Stephanie.
Stefani, but no
You
doubt.
just said no doubt.
I said no doubt.
So
it was Lady
you're
Gaga
obviously
wore the
referring
meat
to Lady
dress.
Gaga.
No.
No, Lady
No doubt
Gaga's
the
name
band
is Stephanie.
definitely Gwen Stefani.
Okay.
But no doubt she was the one that wore the dress that was made of meat.
I'm confused.
Of course you are. All right. So when I first heard this was coming out as a musical,
I never knew.
which is I've known since they first announced it
No idea.
as a musical, I said to myself, what the fuck are we getting? A musical superhero, actually super villain.
Yeah.
And also why? Not just what the fuck, but why the fuck?
Why not?
Yeah, so, but I soon realized, as I'm watching this movie unfold, that a musical, the way they portray this film, was done very well. The music made sense, and it intertwines itself into the story in such a natural way. I feel mostly because the music is symbolic of their whole relationship. Joaquin Phoenix, as always, is completely brilliant in his portrait of our anti-hero misfit man who continues to be abused by everyone that he comes into contact
Poor
with.
Arthur.
Yeah, poor Arthur is exactly how you're supposed to feel. Lady Gaga, as usual, also is outstanding in her newfound career. On top of being a musical star, she is also, in my opinion now, a movie star.
Absolutely.
This film is beautifully shot and really lets us see Arthur's character even more deeply developed than the first film. And we really feel his mental instability and really does take us in a journey along with him. There was a point in this that I felt, this is even better than the first film. But then it kept dragging on. And this is a big but.
All right.
Okay? It was way too courtroom, and the dragginess started to make me bored of the story. On top of that, I didn't feel that her relationship was as potent as I feel that it could have been. I think there was definitely the chemistry. I would agree with you there. But I felt that the relationship that they developed, in my opinion, if they were going to do anything more with this film, less courtroom, more development of their relationship. I kind of loved the ending, but I did kind of feel that the relationship of how that ended was also not as real as they had me feeling throughout this entire film. I really liked this film a lot. I couldn't get it to Amando. It was a man for me.
That's fair.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and we've talked a lot about this on our podcast many times over. Performances can make a difference in a film for sure.
Yeah.
Like these two
And
are so
that's-
natural together.
So
in
natural
this
together.
portrait.
They're both, yeah, and they're so good.
I just didn't. For me, I didn't fully connect with their relationship, and I didn't fully connect with what was going on in the courtroom. So for me, I was kind of getting bored by it. I was like, okay, I want to know more about her, because you really don't get to know much about her. I feel
that I'll agree with.
his character is so well defined and so well developed, and you get to see so much insight into him. But in her role, it's kind of like as much as she's an independent, powerful woman, you don't really get to know enough about her to be able to care for her when things start to change in the relationship.
The thing is, though, is you can't really learn anything about her because that's part of the reason why it doesn't work out in the end, because who she is and who he is, and it's more, and I don't think if we knew more about her, that was going to be as poignant as that last scene between the two of them.
I think it could have been, because at that point I was kind of like, she was so enamored with him.
Yeah.
To have his baby in solitary confinement.
Yes.
But
that's such a good scene.
It was a good scene. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. Especially the looks on their faces.
Oh,
like the facial expressions of those two during sex. Was like, that was worth the price of admission.
Yes. I want a poster. That should have been the movie poster.
That should have been the movie poster. Absolutely.
Because throw up.
It's
whatever.
Yeah, maybe throwing up all right, but not out of your mouth.
No.
Yes.
Two of them together.
Out of your pee-pee.
Seriously, it makes me nauseous just thinking about
whatever. I don't understand you, Murray.
Especially Joaquin Phoenix is just...
I don't understand Lady Gaga.
I can never. I am finding it hard to believe anyone's going to be able to take him off our mesmerized list. That's what I'm going to say. All right. Well, we got a Matt and a Mondo on that, so that's how it works.
50-50.
All right. So Whitebird. Vive l'humanité.
Yeah.
So Whitebird is one of those hidden Jewish people during World War II stories.
Oh, I've seen that movie before.
Yeah, a few times.
I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Where Helen Mirren is a kid.
Did someone have a diary?
Yeah, there's a
list up there.
There's
too.
also well, it's not really a diary, but there was one that had a diary.
There was a diary.
Yeah.
Did they make that into a movie?
No, not in this. I'm just saying. There was one that had a diary,
There's a famous one with a diary.
Did they make that one into a movie too?
Yeah, there's a few times, yeah.
I know there's one that has a list.
Yeah, there's also a list that,
yeah.
Mr. Schindler made once. Yeah, so this is a genre. We get Helen Mirren as a kid who learns lessons like people with polio are also people, and quickly also learns that the Jewish community are being extinguished and that kindness in the world exists in some people. There really is nothing really new in this film we haven't seen before in this style of film, but what it did have is a sweetness and innocence to it, where these two young 15-year-olds fall in love through this whole ordeal they are living through. The cinematography in this was beautifully shot. The acting by our cast is very well done. In addition to the unoriginality of the story, it also took a while to get to the end. And there are a lot of the usual tropes in this genre of film. It was kind of predictable. It didn't get... But you know what? I didn't get too bogged down with it. I didn't get super bothered with it. I enjoyed the young love in this that we get to witness. I didn't hate it. It was a meh for me.
I don't know. This was like after school special version of the Holocaust. Nobody even had like grit underneath their fingernails. Everybody was pretty. This was ridiculous.
I knew you would find that a fault in this, because as I'm looking at it, I'm going, Helen Mirren's looking pretty. Helen Mirren as a kid is looking pretty clean throughout this movie.
It's like, really, you can't put some dirt on their face. I mean, this was so ridiculous. This was like the young adult version. This is like if you this was made for like 12-year-old girls is what this was a 12-year-old girl introduction to the Holocaust.
You are the 12-year-old girl. Usually that's your movie.
And it was almost insulting. I did not like this at all.
He did sleep through some of it.
I did not sleep through any of it.
You did, actually. But you know what? I can see why. Because the parts you fell asleep with were kind of slow.
Yeah, well, and putting this stupid little young love story in the middle, it's just, there is no way that she could care less about this kid in the circumstances that she's in. There's no freaking way. She's just trying to survive.
It's like total Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, this was just bad, man. I did not like anybody in this. I thought the story was just so bland and it's like if you're gonna make a Holocaust movie, make something original, or if you're not going to, at least make it good. Like this was like, as I say, this was made for like teenagers, and that's fine, I guess. But then market it that way. I will say, the cinematography was tremendous.
Yes.
It looked great.
It's beautiful shot.
Would have been nice if, the people that were in it looked like they actually should be in it. Looks like they're coming out of a frickin'
bathhouse
episode of Beverly Hills 90210 instead of anyways.
Instead of the Holocaust.
That was a TV reference.
Yeah, what's up with that?
For a guy who doesn't watch TV.
Yeah.
I really, 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 really didn't like it.
So this was a rage for you?
It was
then?
a rage.
Okay. You know what? I knew you weren't going to like this movie as I was watching it. But the funniest thing about it, Murray, is that, okay, this movie is the Holocaust equivalent of Twilight. And that's
what it is.
Exactly.
It
So
is,
why
but
he
not
didn't
as good.
Mr. 12-year-old girl loves
whatever.
the vampires.
Twilight is a freaking classic. Why aren't they playing Twilight at the 12-hour movie marathon this year at Cuff?
The bigger question
sucks.
is
I know they're sucking in it. I
doubt there is.
Okay, but here's the point I want to make. The sparkling vampires was not too different than the sparkling Holocaust victims
I see.
in this. So I'm kind of, they were sparkly.
I was insulted by this movie. I can't imagine people that actually have a direct connection to someone who went through this, watching this movie, how they would feel. I can't imagine that they would have anything but disdain for it.
I don't know if that's true.
It's awful.
Because I liked it.
It was a candy coated version of the Holocaust.
Yeah, it was good.
Ugh.
I liked it. It was
Rage.
I liked the love story. It was lovey-dovey.
Yes.
But there's sad parts to it too.
Lord, she was lovey-dovey.
All right, so we're gonna let the Mur tell us all about.
Yeah. Okay.
Die Alone.
Die Alone.
Die Alone.
I broke 2 of my rules to catch this movie.
What?
I don't like driving after dark.
That's right.
And I especially don't like watching movies that start after 10 p.m.
This started after 10?
After all the trailers, the actual start time of the movie was like 9:55 or something. So yeah.
So it didn't quite break your rule.
Basically 10 o'clock, but yeah.
Basically 10.
But you didn't fall asleep in it.
Yes, I'm old and cranky. Much like Carrie Ann Moss in this film.
Okay.
But when your BFF
you got
needs
a
backup,
spirit.
you answer the call.
That's right. He's the Superman.
I couldn't let him see Die Alone. Alone.
All right.
That's my only joke. Like my good friend Jim mentioned, after we saw this, up until the halfway mark, this movie was working up to a rage.
Okay.
It was slow, confusing. I didn't like the main character very much. Moss was killer, as always.
As always.
Yeah.
Always. She's always awesome.
Okay.
Even in that crappy
She's Trinity
Matrix.
in the Matrix tree. So
Then
she's
the pieces started to fit together.
Was she?
Yeah.
I
we
barely
were
remember that.
We were treated to a nice plot twist that almost made it worthwhile. Admittedly, Jim figured it out a lot sooner than I did.
Okay.
Maybe it was my drowsy state, but it was way past my bedtime. Or the altitude. We were way up in the nosebleed
Yeah,
section.
we were the only ones watching it, so.
Yes.
Either way, once I was in on the joke, it turned out to be not so bad. Almost a satisfying ending. Special marks to the filmmakers for choosing rural southern Saskatchewan for the shooting locations.
Yes!
It made me homesick for the land of living skies. Not enough to move back there, though.
Okay, good.
But still, small towns and farmhouses are what I grew up with. It was not technically a zombie film, but it felt like one. The plant-based creatures were still scary, even if they were in short supply, and didn't move very fast. It was a decent meh, and that's being generous.
All right.
Oh, by the way, in case you're interested, the story is a young man with amnesia. He bands together with a rugged survivalist in a zombie-like outbreak to find his girlfriend.
There you go.
That's what it's supposed to be about, which is misleading.
Yeah.
Why did you say it?
Well, because
that's what they want you to
That's
think
what they
that you
want you to
Ah.
So, another apocalyptic movie with zombie-like plant people who eat people as food, and we get Carrie-Anne Moss as one of the last true survivalists.
Okay.
She meets up with a dude who is a complete idiot, who has amnesia, and by every right would not have lasted more than 5 minutes in
On
this
his own.
environment. Because every car he gets into, he crashes.
Yep.
He faints pretty much every hour or so, almost on a clock. And did I mention he seemed, for the first part, like he was a terribly awful actor.
Yes. Thank you.
Every situation he is part of, he somehow survives.
Screws it up, too.
But it makes no sense as you're watching this. You're like, how is this guy not fucking dead yet?
Yep.
But put a pin in that just for a minute.
Okay.
The idea of plant-based virus taking over and turning people into zombies, I thought, wow, this is kind of new. But then I remembered, wait a minute, wasn't there a TV show called The Last of Us? And it had mushrooms? Aren't mushrooms
mushroom head dudes?
Aren't mushrooms a plant?
Technically,
Right?
yes. They're a
Mr.
fungus.
Vegan,
Yeah.
isn't a mushroom a plant?
As far as I know.
Okay, it's okay.
Plus
So
they changed the rules.
yeah, so there we go. It's not that original of an idea.
Oh.
It kind of has a made-for-TV vibe to it, and the dialogue isn't great for the first part of the movie, and the music is kind of typical popular movie music we have seen so many times
At least there
over
were a
and
couple songs
over.
I recognize.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what I mean. It's very canned. Like, the music wasn't like, wow, I haven't heard that song in a movie. We kind of glad they did that. No, it was more like, okay, it's no surprise. So for the whole first part of this movie, this was not making me feel very good. In fact, I felt it hard to believe for most of the first part of the movie.
Okay.
Mostly because it was kind of frustrating. But,
Oh, there's a but.
yes, there's always, I like butts.
Who doesn't?
And I can't lie. Especially big butts. But then we got the second half of the film.
Okay.
And we get multiple twist endings, which made up for the bad I was feeling through the beginning.
And a
Okay.
Frank Grillo sighting.
Yeah, the Frank Grillo signing.
Which is never good.
Which is never...
He brings the pain.
He does bring the pain.
just don't like Frank Grillo.
You know what? You've said that before.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it again.
All right, well, good. So it's a good thing you missed this one this week.
I could watch it, but I think in like a week of streaming, so.
Yeah, probably.
No, I can.
Oh, okay, there you go. So, so anyway, the multiple twist endings kind of made up for the bad that I was feeling from the beginning. I really liked how this ended, and it also kind of helps to explain why the amnesia dude was such a bad actor from the beginning, which is kind of interesting. So I don't want to do too many spoilers here,
No.
because if you can...
I am super confused right now, so
Yes,
you're doing good.
exactly.
Then you're right where you should be.
Yes.
Yes.
But I really feel if you can make it through the first half
first
of
half
this
of the movie.
Yeah.
you will be rewarded for the wait.
Okay.
And as a plus, it's only 90 minutes long.
Yeah, it's only 90
It's a
minutes.
short movie.
So
There you
for
go.
45 minutes, be prepared to go, what the fuck is happening? And why is this seeming so...
And then all of a sudden, oh, okay.
You're like, okay. So I guess what I'm, sort of summating here is I guess zombies are still keeping me entertained like they have my entire life.
Yeah.
I guess. I liked how this turns out a lot. So it's a plant-based, super awesome surprise ending zombie meh. The whole movie together, everything that was done, I feel, in the first part of the movie is with intent.
Yeah.
100%
Well, once you
intent.
get, like you said, once you're in on the joke, then you understand the first half. Mm-hmm. But it took long to get there.
But it's, that's just it. It takes a while to get there, number one. And number two, it's so frustrating as you're watching it
Yeah.
that you're kind of like, by the time it gets to cleaning it
sounds
up a
good.
bit. I know, it does. I actually felt good coming out of the theater.
Huh.
But I was like, you know
I
what?
like the-
There's still things in this.
That bother
I'm
me.
anxious to see what you think about this when you
Because
do
I've
see it.
had I think a movie that, well, it doesn't matter.
What?
No, I was just thinking that I can't remember the name of the movie though, so it's pointless.
What
for
was
me
it
to talk.
about?
It was the one with the
zombies?
where they go to the place and the stuff happens.
Was there zombies in it?
There's no zombies.
Was the stuff that happened? Was it in
They
the
go
World
to the
War
place.
II?
It was in Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, like the one with Nick Cage?
No.
Retirement plan?
Oh, the Florida Project.
There you go.
Florida Project.
Yeah.
See, I got us there.
How did
I
you
knew
get
we'd work
there?
through this.
See-
I knew we'd work through it.
See, with the Florida Project, for the first half hour,
Yes.
I was like, what in the bleep am I watching?
Yes.
I hate this movie.
Yes.
And then by the end of it, it was like one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of like that, except for it didn't get all the way to a Mondo.
There you go.
All right.
Excellent.
All right, so Bryce is going to tell us about Blink.
Oh, am I?
Be prepared.
Oh.
The two of us think completely different on
You
this.
don't know what I think.
I know exactly what you think because you told me.
Did I?
Yes, you
I
did.
don't remember that. Okay, so Blink.
Because you were sleeping.
I'm probably not going to be super, super popular after this review, but whatever. So Blink.
your
So
first time.
have you ever wanted to watch a movie about a family, 2 parents, 4 kids, going on a road trip for a full year,
Yes.
hitting Mongolia, Namibia, Nepal, Egypt, and Ecuador,
Yes.
complete with all the bickering amongst the siblings and all the complaining
Yes.
about them being bored,
Yes.
or cold, or tired, or hungry? My God, how did anybody think this is something that anybody would want to watch? Now, the reason they were on this trip is because 3 of the 4 kids have retinitis pigmentosa, which has no cure and will result in blindness. So this trip is an attempt to show the kids the wonders of the world before they can no longer see them for themselves. That would make a great magazine article or picture book. But seeing this family stranded on a gondola in Ecuador for 9 hours, a scene that actually felt like 9 hours, with all the siblings crying and they're cold, and it's not entertaining. I would have traded places with them if I could somehow erase that scene from my head forever. I would love to be in that gondola for 9 hours, freezing my ass off if I didn't have to watch that.
This is a documentary.
Yeah. At any rate, the concept of this seems like a can't miss topic. Unfortunately, having to experience this for this year in 90 minutes felt like the worst road trip that I've ever been on, and multiply that by 10. Once again, this as a picture book would have been great, but as a film where the bickering and the whining seemed to never ever stop was pure hell. Having said this, these parents were awesome for giving their kids this experience, and I hope they all remember the tremendous sights that they experienced. But as a doc, this was a hellish experience that I will be trying to forget. If I watched this with no sound, it could have been a meh, because there was a lot of really, really cool things in this, a lot of really good scenery, a lot of stuff that I haven't seen shot in this way. But having to hear these kids whine and cry for 90 minutes makes this a rage. I couldn't get past it. Every time that I had like 2 seconds of enjoyment, it was followed by 15 minutes of hell. I can't weigh 15 minutes versus 2 seconds and get this to anything but a rage. Oh my God, this was awful.
Okay.
So what you're saying is National Geographic
But good on these
should have
parents.
put it in a magazine
Yes.
in the National Geographic
Yes.
magazine?
instead of making a movie out of it.
Yes. At any rate.
All right, well, let me tell you what I thought of it, because first off, as a premise to this, Bryce doesn't realize how annoying his fucking dog is for people who don't own dogs. So as a person who doesn't like children, you can understand why Bryce would think something went on for 15 minutes, when in actuality in the movie it went on for probably half a minute. Just so everybody understands.
There's no way
Bryce's
that was half a
time-
minute.
Oh, 100%.
Up in the gondola?
'Kay.
That went on and on and on. That
Okay.
was half the movie.
There was okay, no, it did not go. Bryce is definitely exaggerating here.
I am not exaggerating.
Okay, now let me tell you what I thought of this movie.
Go ahead.
So, parents having 3 of their 4 kids who have macular degeneration and are all going to go blind is a tale not very many people could take very
It's actually retinitis
easily.
pigmentosa, but
No, it was macular degeneration.
no, it was retinitis pigmentosa. You're talking to someone who knows.
Okay, so anyway, it's one of those sort of things from the science side of it. I'm not a scientist. I'm just going to go off of what they said. So,
Yes.
so not very many people could take that information and get out of it very easily. And when the doctor says to them, the best thing you can do is buy them some encyclopedias and show them pictures for their visual memory, the parents went, nope, let's take them to these places instead.
Parents are awesome.
All our money and go on a trip.
And this is the premise for this doc. And then I spent, unlike Bryce, an hour and a half with joy and wonder and some of the most beautiful sights that I've ever seen.
I'm cold. I'm hungry.
And
let's slap each other. Let's cry some more.
Yes, that's what kids do.
Oh my God.
And
How
then-
is that an experience worth having?
It was great. I loved it. And then spent time getting to know this family that I actually fell in love with, but not before I used up a half a box of Kleenex because of my tears of joy and my tears of sadness for what is to come for these kids as we go through this journey with them. These adventures we got to be part of was such a joy to be a part of. The joy, their joy, let me correct myself. Their joy was my joy. Their fears were my fears.
Yeah.
Their hurts and love of all things a family embraces together. There was all part of it. This year and journey they went through on this was a blessing for both these kids and for us, the viewer, except Bryce.
No.
I really felt this family was going through this together, and the director shows both good and bad, and in Bryce's case, he's only picking up on the bad,
All
decisions these parents made as they bumble through this adventure. This film was so rewarding for me. It was a super mondo. This may make my top 10.
There's no way this makes your top 10.
I love this film.
2 seconds of joy, 15 minutes of absolute hell,
No, this
followed by
was-
2 seconds of joy, followed by another 15 minutes of
No.
absolute hell. Every now and then there was like a really cool shot where I'm like, wow. And honestly, if I watched this with no sound, it would have been okay, definitely.
Yeah.
But oh my God, it was just non-stop.
It was
whining
nonstop.
and crying,
I loved
and
it.
yelling and
There was-
screaming. And,
okay, so
and
all told,
just- oh
there's-
my God, it was awful, Murray.
there was maybe, if I had to add up the amount of physical crying in this, there was probably 2 minutes of a 90-minute film.
whatever. It was just nonstop. And that gondola scene, that just never
The
ended.
scene was awesome.
In a weird way, it was a poignant scene because it was trying to prove a point. It was kind of wrapping things up a little bit with it, but about the the fear and all that stuff. But it was so long.
It was
and
not long
It
enough.
needed to be like 10 seconds long. I did not need to just sit there with, it's awful.
I wanted another hour in the gondola
It was awful.
because it really wanted to take us with them to see their pain and suffering.
It was
And
so
apparently
good.
it got Bryce to the same
I
point.
was in pain and suffering for 90 minutes.
And I was in pure joy.
I knew
and
in the
bliss.
first 2 minutes I was like, oh God, this is gonna just not be good. And I knew that. And the whole thing is, and it's a shame because it's got its heart in the right place. But
Yeah.
man, showing screaming kids for 90 minutes while you're trying just doesn't do it.
Yeah, you know what? When you see
As I say,
screaming kids
as a
for 2
magazine,
minutes of a 90-minute
magazine article,
film,
this would be great. Picture book, this would have been great. This
and as a
No.
film, no, this was great. So here's the thing: if you have any heart for children,
and I do.
which you don't,
No, I don't
then you will love this film like I did.
I was a kid once.
Yeah, but you hated
was
yourself.
I
and
was,
you
a,
hated
I was a
kids
good
awesome.
kid. I didn't scream my head off all the time.
Yes.
in your room by yourself.
Well, because I would get the crappy out of him if I did. But
There you
kids are spoiled rotten these days, and I couldn't have sat through that either. I don't think.
maybe not.
At
You
any
know
rate,
what?
I hope the kids, I hope the experience was great for them. I hope that in my heart, I hope they remember all of it. I'm not convinced.
I
they
just
will.
hope that they're.
I think the youngest
grateful.
one will probably have a challenge.
I hope they're grateful for their parents for going through all that.
And I'll say those two parents, they're pretty awesome for doing what they did.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saints for putting up with all that, from what I hear.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, you know what? But what I thought was what I again appreciated
I think the
more.
saints were like the guides that went with them and put up.
Yeah,
with
but they're
it.
being paid to be there.
Yeah, like the film crew that went through this
Couldn't have paid me enough.
Yeah, it's funny because in my wife's interpretation of this film, she did not love it as much as me, but she didn't hate it as much as Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
Her comment was she thought these parents were terrible because there's
the
scenes
kids
in this
misbehave.
that she pushes these kids in places that they probably weren't ready to go through.
Oh, there's no question.
Like when they go through the Arctic side of it, it's like they must have marched for like 5 days.
I was actually the only thing that I was actually amused me.
Torturing the children.
Yeah, the kids when they were like, oh.
We're going through
that
some
was the one
torture.
time when they were crying where I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
You're a terrible person. Okay, well, apparently we're at either ends of the fence in that, which, you know what, we don't do enough, so I'm happy. I could not be happier about how this movie turned out for the both of us.
Oh, there you go. I would have preferred if it was like me going Mondo and you going Rage, but whatever.
You know, it worked out for me. So, you know what? That's all that matters. All right. So, for the last film, that again, as Murray had said, he was able to see this during a film festival.
Mm-hmm.
But Bryce and I couldn't fit it into our schedule.
No, plus we knew it was coming out.
And you don't go to American movies anyway. You go to
we
not
just
at the film
did.
Festival.
We went to it.
No,
yesterday.
in the film
Not
festival.
during the festival, you
Or
don't.
Monday.
We'll
whenever
go
it
to an
was.
American one if it's
Yeah,
we know
very
it's not going to
often.
play. Only if we know it's not going to get picked up and brought to cinema at another time. So far we've seen a few
Whereas
movies that
I'm
have
the
come
opposite.
out
I prefer
recently.
to see it for free during the festival and have to pay for it a week later.
But we can afford to pay for it.
But then you're gonna miss out on something that you wouldn't be able to see.
I might have missed my favorite movie of the festival, my favorite cake, had I gone and seen American film.
Exactly.
Yeah, so which I'm pretty sure we're not going to get to see anywhere else. All right, so A Different Man. Sebastian Stan plays Edward, a man who has a very disfigured face and lives a quiet, reserved life where he is meek and basically hiding himself from the world that makes fun of him at every turn until he gets a chance for a special treatment, which can change his life for the better, or at least he thinks it could be for the better, and the doctor seems to keep reminding him of that as we're going through this process with him. Up until this, though, he makes friends with a sexy next-door neighbor who seems to like him for him. Yet, after his transformation, although hot and basically a male model, it's still him on the inside. Then along comes the story of a man who also is disfigured, named Oswald, who, though disfigured, has confidence and style, and on top of not letting his condition get the best of him, he seems to thrive. And then Oswald basically takes everything from Edward, his acting job, his girlfriend, and even his apartment. He does all this in a slow and unobtrusive way.
Unintentionally, he's very charismatic, basically. So
Yeah, I mean,
Just like you, Mur.
exactly.
just like me.
So in a slow and unobtrusive way, at the same time, doing nothing but showing love towards Edward. The film really is a study of Edward and his transformation physically, emotionally, and how he deals with everything that is happening to him. The cast in this is all great, especially Adam Pearson, who is in real life is afflicted with a face tumor. He really is a good character story. I should say this is quite a good character story, and you really do get to see and feel everything that Edward goes through. My biggest problem, and here comes my butt again, I feel that although the story did seem natural and at times quite funny, I kind of found it just a little bit of an easy breezy story. I liked it a lot. I didn't love it. It's good though, and I think worth seeing. It's a A24 man. I got a couple things more to say about it, but let's see what you guys got.
What you got, Mur?
Oh, I already talked about this. I don't know much more I can add.
Yeah, we'll just remind everybody.
It was a Mondo. I loved it. I thought it was very funny. And I loved the, what do you call it? Twist of fate. How this guy who was, in society's terms, ugly at the start, becomes beautiful, but then his life becomes ugly. So, yeah, I liked it. It was really funny. It was a Mondo.
All right. I don't know. Everything was a little too on the nose for me. It wasn't.
Would you say it was an easy breezy story?
It was, and it was probably, and that's maybe what bugged me about it. It was a little too easy breezy for what it was. Adam Pearson is a force. I mean, he was so good. So good in this. But
have you seen him in other things?
Just in that other movie. Yeah. The other movie, I think it was the same director, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now you got me looking it up. Chained for Life.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which I believe is also. Is it?
He's also in a movie called Ruby Splinter.
Yeah,
Chained for Life.
Yeah, but Chained for Life, I believe, is the same director.
And there's a one called Under the Skin.
Yeah, Aaron Schimberg.
That's the Scarlett Johansson one.
So
it?
Yeah, same director as Chained for Life. So anyway, which by the way, Chained for Life is, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a far better movie than this. Like, not even close.
And it's on Tubi, so
there you go.
Wrong.
And it's on Tubi. It is far better than this. But this was okay. But yeah, I was. I don't know. It's a weird movie. Not in the fact that it's weird. It's just
I found it. So for me,
yeah,
it
I'm
was
having trouble with like why I really didn't. I didn't
think it was the predictability.
Well, that's the whole thing. It was so predictable. There was nothing shocking that happened. You could see how this was going to turn out a mile away, and it was okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to become not a big fan of Sebastian Stan, to be honest.
But he gives us a full frontal nudity.
Just you wait. That other movie comes out this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how he does.
Go see that one.
Oh yeah.
What movie is that?
The other one.
The Donald Trump
Trump
one. We're not allowed
weekend?
to advertise apparently.
We can advertise whatever we
festival
want.
couldn't.
Oh.
Yeah, if the movie,
because of the lawsuits.
If the people come to us and say, "Hey, we'll give you money to advertise it," we're gonna
Anyway,
advertise
at the end of the day, a different man. Everything was just too on the nose to make it thought provoking or in any way. Which I think a movie like this should actually make you think a little, and I don't think it did. I think I was spoon fed a lot of stuff. Everything was so on the nose. There was just nothing.
Well, and
nothing here.
It's kind of like
for a movie that's supposed to be about the depth of one's personality. It was a pretty shallow look at it. It was okay. I didn't hate it. It was meh.
Yeah, and I think you and I are kind of in the same camp. I think Marie obviously appreciated it a little bit more from us, but I think for me it was the same kind of thing. It was kind of like the story is. You get the message. Yeah. Right? Not to really compare it to, what's the one Demi Moore was in, Substance. But to me, it was kind of a similar thing in that is that the message is there from the beginning of the film, and then nothing changes from that message. Yeah. Right? It's like Shallow Hal, that whole philosophy of, people are ugly on the outside or are not worth it, that type of thing. So I think we've seen that story, the Beauty and the Beast type of thing so many times.
So many times, but
and Murray doesn't watch enough Beauty and the
worthwhile.
Beast. Yeah, well, hey, no, I'm not saying I hated it. I enjoyed the film, and I don't mind Sebastian Stan. I don't think he's a bad actor.
No, he's not. I don't know.
It's hard, but it's hard to.
I just never seen anything where I'm like, wow, Sebastian Stan made that better. I've never experienced that.
I guess. Not everybody's going to get naked like he did. So maybe that's what made it better.
Why do I care? Anybody can get naked. That's not hard to do,
But not
Jim.
everybody does.
I could get naked right now if I wanted to.
Well, why aren't you? We should be recording this naked.
That's just silly.
But Adam, I think the thing is that no one can look as good as Adam Pearson did in this. Like, he was just so brilliant.
Yeah, he was so brilliant, which makes it's
everybody
hard.
else look not quite as brilliant.
Probably something to that. But as I say, the one take I was actually, for some reason, I didn't even know Adam Pearson was in this, even though he's on the poster, and how you can't miss the guy. And then when he came up, I was like, oh, cool, it's the guy from that other movie. I can't remember the name of that I really liked.
Never saw him before. Honestly, I thought it was makeup.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but if you get the one thing, if you can take anything out of this, go see Chained for Life. It's a better movie, and it's really worth watching.
Nice. The one thing that we got that was a surprise in this?
What's that?
A Michael Shannon sighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the Michael Shannon sighting made me almost giddy.
Yeah, as did me, because I'm like, he comes, I'm like, who are they gonna have to play him in the movie, and to bring in Michael Shannon? It was just like,
it was so good. Yeah.
Right, Mur?
Sure. General Zod.
Nice.
General Zod.
Man of Steel.
I thought that was what's his head?
No.
He played from the next Superman
the movie,
ones.
not the original.
You're not the original. the other one. General
Terrence
Zod.
Stamp. That's what I'm trying to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought Terrence Stamp was General.
He was
Zod.
the original.
He was
And then
also Drell in the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
What TV show?
The TV show about the Superman.
Isn't he
Clark and Lois.
That was like in the
No.
50s.
Smallville.
Oh, okay.
Smallville. He played Jor-El, the father.
He wouldn't have been born in the 50s or whenever that was out.
Oh my God. Let's just move on. You know nothing
It's true. You do know
except
nothing.
Joker, apparently.
Joker's awesome.
Okay. You guys know how much I love Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Besides having the same birthday as me.
What?
He's a tad older.
A little bit. Yeah.
I love about 90% of his films. Pluto Nash and Norbit being the exceptions.
Yes.
Now, as luck would have it, the TV gods aired his very first feature film last weekend.
What?
48 Hours. I have actually never seen it.
You never seen 48 Hours?
My appreciation of all things Eddie started with SNL and Beverly Hills Cop.
So wait, can we hold on just a second? So did you see another 48 Hours?
Yes, I saw that one.
Oh, okay.
Because it came out when I was working at a video store.
Oh,
when I
okay.
had
But
free
you didn't
access.
see the original.
The original,
original.
okay.
Okay, because the original's so
I
much
liked
better.
I liked the sequel. I thought that
Yeah.
one was really funny. So I was expecting
Because that
more.
was the first thing you
I
saw.
thought it would be like that. It was not.
No, it was
It's a little-
good.
It was exactly.
To be fair, this was Murphy's first big film, so I'm not going to judge him too harshly.
Uh-oh.
However, I'm used to
What?
Eddie Murphy being funny in everything. Sadly, I didn't find him funny at all in this.
It's not
Not
necessarily
even the
sad.
parts that you're supposed to be funny.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, that's
according
sad.
to him, the whole time he was shooting this, he was afraid he would be fired from the job for not being funny enough. That was his worry the whole time, up until they wrapped. I actually did see the sequel, Another 48 Hours, which I did find to be quite funny.
Okay.
For a 19-year-old kid, Murphy did a halfway decent job with the script.
Was he only 19 when this came out? Holy
Maybe
shit.
20, but yeah, he was 19 when he was on SNL.
Wow.
He wasn't even close to the biggest problem with this film.
What?
Nick Nolte, I have absolutely no use for.
Huh.
I don't like his acting,
Okay.
and he's become a grade A nut job in recent years.
He
His
was always a
character,
bit of a
Jack was a pitiful excuse for a cop,
All right.
full of cheesy one-liners and cliched 80s cop characteristics. All he did was annoy the crap out of me.
Oh no.
The main villain of this film was also lame. He's basically a two-bit thug who escapes from prison with no common sense, just a bad attitude that seems to carry him through. The fact that
Like the honeymoon
police
suite song.
the police kept letting him get away despite his lack of planning. He had no plan, no escape plan. He just got away anyway because the cops were all idiots.
Escape Plan. That's
Just
Sylvester Stallone.
Proves how terrible this film actually was. This should be a hard rage, but I could
there's a
never
but.
rage against my man Eddie.
All right.
It is a low Matt, and I'm very thankful his performances have gotten better since.
So was this was
I feel like I
David
need to
Patrick-
watch it again because I
thought
don't
would
remember
like
him
it.
being that
No,
bad.
I
in it.
didn't. He just
Was-
he wasn't true Eddie. It was his first. I mean, he's
True
trying too hard to
Eddie.
be serious.
Was
So,
David Patrick Kelly the main bad guy in this?
I don't know. Is that his
The
name?
guy from the Warriors, you know?
No, it
Warriors.
was something Remar.
Oh, James Remar?
James Remar. Yeah.
Also from the Warriors?
I mean, he did have a Native
Come
American
on,
friend.
play.
I enjoyed him.
Oh yeah,
the guy who
it's
broke him
Walter
out of
Hill.
prison.
It's Walter Hill who directs it.
And the two girlfriends. One is Bing Crosby's daughter, Denise, the one who was on one of those Star Treks. I don't know who the other one was.
All right.
But I mean, yeah, it had some interesting characters.
Oh, Denise Crosby, that's right.
And I love Annette O'Toole. Love her. She was also in Smallville, Bryce.
I don't know what Smallville is.
She played Superman's mom.
Oh, like also like in...
But Superman's
Lois and
mom,
Clark?
like the movie from the
Like
50s?
Martha Kent.
I don't think they even had her. I don't think she was part of
Smallville
the picture in that
TV show.
The TV show didn't have the mom in it.
Yes, it did. It had the Earth mom and the Earth dad.
I think we're talking about two different things.
And it had Terrence Stamp as the
no,
voice.
Terrence Stamp wasn't even...
Yes,
well, he was
was.
alive probably, but he would have been like
Smallville
5.
was in 2006, buddy. And Terrence Stamp was
What's
the voice
Smallville?
of Jor-El.
I thought we were talking about Superman TV series.
It is a Superman TV series.
Oh my God! What are we talking?
There's
Can
about
you clear this up for me?
Clark Kent is Superman, in case you didn't know that.
I know Clark Kent's
And
Superman.
he was in
And
the
it's
TV
about
show
Clark
Clark
Kent.
and Lois.
No.
Oh,
Smallville is
What?
about Clark Kent.
well, so was Clark
What's
and
in
Lois.
Smallville?
What the hell is Smallville? I thought we were talking about Superman, the TV series.
This is a TV series about Superman.
Well, that was from like the
There's been-
50s.
No. There was also one in the 90s called
Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark. So there.
You know what? Here's the answer to it. There's so much Superman
There
stuff.
is. There's not enough, in my opinion.
Okay, well, there we might
That's
differ.
debatable.
Anyway.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, my sweet, sweet rage. All right. I have two rages this week. Number one is Bryce, because he was supposed to get back to me Thursday on what our schedule is going to be for the weekend, and he ignored me up until Sunday night. So that's my first rage.
well, then-
Let's just get it out of the way. That was my
Whatever.
first rage.
All right.
Second rage is
That's your rage.
Die Alone was at one cinema
In the whole
at
city.
one time
Yep.
for the whole week.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all we got.
And it was a 9:40 at night.
Yes. So I had to go watch it Sunday night. It was the only time I could fit it in. And I was tired for work.
And
on
I missed
Monday.
half a football game.
That's right. So
Because of the damn
I know Murray's not usually
weather.
given a rage, but I'm going to rage that Murray had to stay up late to watch the rest
I
of
did
his
stay up
football
late.
game. So
And-
that's three
and-
rages.
Yes. There you go.
Those are my three. Bryce, which is usually my rage. It usually comes to Bryce. But I'm starting with Bryce. And then the second one is play it at other cinemas. And then the third is that Murray didn't get to watch his football game before the movie. Beat that.
Yeah. By the way, Superman, I'm looking at it right here, ran from 1952 to 1958. So I don't know what we're talking about.
Smallville, the story about
Smallville.
Superman. Look that up. And look up Lois and Clark while you're at it.
Yes.
I don't understand.
And Superboy. That was one of
But
those.
we were
too.
talking about
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
story. The story
with George Reeves from the 1952.
He's talking about.
And now you're making me rage. Just get to your thing.
So, were you gonna rage about like documentaries that have kids in it?
Nah, you know what? I don't really have anything prepared. You know what's something that actually upsets me like every single week
What's that?
is like I go to the washroom,
Yes.
right? And there's like
So
a,
when you go to the washroom, do you have prostate problems?
no. So there's like a public washroom.
Oh.
And there's like a paper towel dispenser, and it's
Yeah.
one of those ones where you got to pull the paper down.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes down again. So you pull it down, and then another one comes
Yes.
out after it rips
It's
off.
automated.
Right.
Yes.
Well, no, it's not automated. It's a mechanical
pull it,
one.
and
So
then
you
it
pull it,
pulls,
and the other
yeah.
one comes down.
Yep.
And then so the next person can grab onto the paper towel and pull it down.
Yeah.
But then every now and then you're going to pull it and then you're going to get your paper towel, but then no more paper towel comes down, not because it's empty, because it's just slightly malfunctioning.
It's a stupid.
So rather than the last person sitting there and taking the paper towel that's in their hand and maybe just turning the dial so that more paper towel comes by,
Yes.
so that the next person can just pull the paper towel, there's nothing there. So you just washed your hands, you go to do it, and there's no paper towel there, and you got to turn the dial.
And then you're touching.
But then I'm going to touch this dial that probably has
then
like
you gotta
poop
wash your
and
hands
pee
again.
all
Yes.
over it. So I got to turn the dial, wash my hands again, then pull the paper towel out.
You know what? This is probably, of all your terrible rages, this is actually a good rage.
My rage is just inconsiderate people was what it comes down to.
Yeah. You know what? I'm always on side with that. This is the best rage you've ever had.
So come on, people. Just
People suck.
They do sometimes. I tell you.
You know what? I'm changing my rage to
It's like if you're going to do that, just don't even wash your hands. Just walk out of the washroom.
Yeah, just take your poop and go.
Yes.
Sorry, your
But by the way,
fingers.
that's just so gross. The number of people that you watch come out of the frickin' stalls, not out of the urinal, out of the stalls that go directly out the door.
And you're just
makes me want to vomit. It's
okay,
like, really?
So I have a story about that. Okay. So one of my favorite Vietnamese restaurants that I'd been going to for probably 5 straight years. And so for whatever reason, must have missed this once before. I'm in the bathroom taking a piss. And there's somebody in the actual sit down toilet. Okay. And I'm hearing.
I know where this is going.
I'm hearing the plunk plunk going into the thing. And then you hear the wipe wipe.
Yeah.
And then the person left the stall, went straight out the door and into the kitchen. And I'm the look on my face when I came out of the bathroom to look at my family, because we were all there eating. First off, I threw up a little bit in the sink. And then I said, we need to go right now. And we ran from the restaurant and never went back. And I'm talking, we used to go to this restaurant every week.
Yeah. Come on.
So I've been eating poop food for God knows how long.
Sometimes you just don't know. Maybe it's better not knowing. I don't know. I don't think so. You got to know. Once you find out, you just avoid it.
Yeah, it's the worst.
But yeah, anyways.
Poop food is bad. And
poop food's the worst.
And poop paper towel is also bad.
I don't want poop in my food, Murray.
He's vegan. There's stuff in there he doesn't know who had it.
Exactly.
It's natural.
Yeah, but if it's produced by an animal, I don't eat it.
That's right.
Poop is produced by an animal. I don't eat it.
Exactly.
Natural. That's all I'm saying.
So it's not natural to eat poop.
Murray's okay with ingesting poop, is what I got out of this conversation.
We all ingest a little bit of poop.
I feel like I'm eating it every day at work.
It's unavoidable, is what I'm saying.
You know what? To each his own. Murray likes to poop.
Yeah, well,
maybe not so much.
I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, you are.
Actually, I am.
That's all we all do.
Pulse, slowing, anger fading.
Okay, so this has been a while in the coming.
In the coming?
I don't even remember.
So we were charged by the Mur to see 65000, which had Jeff Goldblum versus Carol Kane.
Oh yeah,
baby. So you know what? I'm just gonna get this out of my system.
Before you do, Carol Kane.
Okay, so Carol Kane definitely beat out Jeff Goldblum.
No doubt about it.
But what I'm gonna say is Ed Begley Jr. took them both out.
Not even close.
Yeah, he was
Carol Kane
on the list.
What's that?
Not on the list.
I know.
Carol Kane.
Carol Kane definitely took Jeff Goldblum out, though.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't believe you thought Ed Begley. I thought Ed Begley Jr. did Ed Begley Jr. and just looked lost, and that's his thing.
That's not his thing. He was on that TV show St. Elsewhere or whatever.
Why are you talking about TV show? Who cares?
He's also been in other stuff where
where he just looks lost all the time and just classy-eyed.
He did a good job of that. No, you know what? You're right. Carol Kane, but you know who I also liked in this I liked Biner.
John Biner was great.
John Biner from Bizarre?
Yes.
John Biner from Bizarre.
And Michael Richards in this was
this movie, I hadn't watched it in a long time, and you kind of made me worry because you're like, well, it's not that good. It's probably not as good as you remember. It was funny. I really enjoyed it.
Of course you did.
It wasn't like a mondo, but it was a high, man. Like I was quite pleased that I went. And you know what the best part is that I remembered a movie being funny, and it was. Because so often I go back and watch comedies from when I was like in my teens, and they are not funny.
Okay,
but
so
this was. I enjoyed it.
I will grant you there is some funny in this.
Yes.
But the movie is terrible. The movie itself is awful.
That movie was fine.
The movie's awful,
fun.
but there's funny parts in it.
It was fun. It's not a masterpiece. I mean, what are you trying to get out of me here?
I'm saying that the movie was not good.
I enjoyed it. So
You
how
enjoyed
is it not good?
The comedy. You enjoyed
I did
the comedy
enjoy the
bits.
comedy
It's
bits.
like skit comedy put together into a movie, which
Yeah.
really didn't. The movie is a
which-
rage.
which
but,
worked- no, it's
but
not a
there's,
rage.
there's bits in it that,
Hi,
are,
man,
that
baby.
are funny.
Hi, man.
No, definitely
Hi,
not.
man.
Definitely not. But unfortunately, Jeff Goldblum,
I think you would have liked it, Murr.
he may love this
I
movie,
may have
actually.
seen it. I don't remember.
He may love this movie, actually. This
Yes.
could be Murray's favorite movie.
I don't know about that.
He
I
does
gotta-
like. There's a hot Dracula chick in this.
I do
who's
like my
played
vampires.
by. Do you remember who the hot Dracula chick was?
Is it Elvira?
No. G.
Gina Davis.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And she
Goldblum,
shows.
Gina
She
Davis.
was, man,
She shows some bosoms.
They were
she
married.
does. They were married, her and Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
Maybe at the time this was made.
maybe.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
I'm glad we did it.
Yeah,
Alright then.
I'm glad. I'm
And
kind of glad
sorry there, Goldblum, but you gone.
you gone. Yeah, I don't think we're ready for something new. Murray's gonna have to update his list now that we don't have Jeff Goldblum with us anymore.
I've updated it.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you got something. Why
Well,
you don't want
I'm just not going to have any extra time
There you go.
between now and next week because I'm going on vacation again.
Oh,
Yeah.
boo-hoo.
That's just me. I like
That's
vacationing.
you.
Whatever. Fine.
Murray's going to tell us something for next time.
All right then.
I don't know what he's going to tell us. I'll tell you. How about that?
Last time on Rage or Dare, our little Ragettes pulled Pulse from my horrible bag of evil remakes. That's right, the 2006 remake of the brilliant Japanese film Cairo. This week, it's Bryce's turn to Rage or Dare. And yes, I know it's been a while. And yes, it is your turn again, Bryce. And yes, you are a whiny bee baby boy. Come on, Bryce. Now, let's check in with the boys and see how much they like to have their favorite horror movie producing country kaiju stomped by Hollywood yet again. If only Godzilla was here to save them. Or if I could do a better Godzilla impersonation.
Is that what that was?
I think so.
I don't know what that was.
It was his impression of Godzilla. Dummy.
Uh,
That was my best Red Fox, by the way. Dummy.
Come here.
I just had a movie in my head and then it left me.
Oh.
I hate when that happens. Maybe
Want me
it'll...
to go here?
I
or
thought we
what?
were talking about Pulse.
well, I don't really have much to say about Pulse. Here's the thing about Pulse. Yes, it's not as good as the original one, and I actually did watch the original one.
As did
The
I.
Japanese movie that I actually really enjoyed. I don't think you enjoyed it quite as much
The
as
original?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, no, I loved it.
Okay. But this American version, I didn't think was that bad. I've had no problems with it. I thought the acting was fine. I thought everybody in it was fine. I thought the way that it was shot was good. I liked the color throughout. I thought the music was fine. Everything in this wasn't that bad. I was expecting this to be awful, and when I watched it, it wasn't awful. Was it great? No, it wasn't great. But I'm sorry, I did not hate this movie. I just didn't hate it.
Okay, well-
and I don't have like a ton to say about it because there's not much to say about it.
Oh,
It's
I've got lots to say about
It's pretty
this.
blah, but at the same time, there's
Okay.
some bits that work. Yeah, it throws a bunch of tropes in and it throws a bunch of stuff at the wall that not everything worked, but it was okay.
Okay, let me talk to you. I don't know were you sleeping through this?
No,
too?
I watched this.
So-
I watched this wide-eyed and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Okay, so
What was wrong with it?
I'm 14 minutes into this, and I'm
Okay.
like, what is actually happening? I
It
literally
was meh.
had no clue what was going on in this movie. So I said, you know what? Apparently I missed something. So I went back and restarted watching it. So I already have 14 minutes invested in this.
Okay.
But then Kristen Bell goes over to what I think is her boyfriend, because he is, I think, missing, I guess.
That's right.
And he's weird, and she finds a half-dead cat in the closet. At the same time, he kills himself in like 5 seconds by hanging himself. Apparently, if you hang yourself in 5 seconds, she couldn't have cut him down and
sometimes you take artistic license.
Oh my God, you and your artistic license. Okay, so right away we're gonna have problems here. Yes, that's right. At most, he would have been hanging. I'm saying maybe 5 seconds. Plus,
whatever.
There is some black, awful CGI veiny stuff appearing just randomly in things, and a computer somehow is involved. Wow, evil computers, scary stuff, kids. But her boyfriend joins the chat from the dead, so the group of friends think that someone should go to his place to turn off his computer. So one dude goes there to check it out, and apparently he lived in a scary, dark, completely filthy place that should be condemned apartment, where a ghost thing pulses his face, and then the horrible CGI inky stuff starts taking over his body. So the evil computer gets sold to a dude, and I guess it has never been turned on. So let's back up. Let's just catch up. 5 second hanging death. Yeah. Black, awfully done CGI veiny stuff. Taking over the other friend. Computer sending help me messages, and this other guy buys a dead guy's computer. That's good. And pulsing ghost faces hanging around somewhere. Well, I guess kinda everywhere. A bunch of people are committing suicide, and remember that friend that originally went to go check on her boyfriend Josh? Yeah. So no one. So he goes and then all of a sudden he goes missing. No one's checking in on anybody. So it's like things are happening and people are just like, that's not how people in 2006 treated each other kids. But then what makes it even worse is Kristen Bell has some of the worst acting of anything I've ever seen.
Oh, I thought she was fine in this.
No, she's completely horrible. No.
You're being harsh.
She's completely horrible.
She's all right.
And we get some jump scares. And I'm almost halfway through this movie, and I'm still not sure what's actually happening, because nothing is tying anything together. And we get Kristen Bell doing her worst acting of her career. Did I mention that already?
You did, but I didn't see that part.
Okay, but then it appears everyone is getting a question come up on their computer that says, do you want to see a ghost? And like 90% of all the people at school are now missing and not there. Yeah. So there is no logic to any of the ghost stuff whatsoever. And random things like red duct tape protects you, and none of the characters are connected, yet all these things are happening. And of course, Kristen Bell and her completely
I would have just wrapped myself with red duct tape. I would have been like a red duct tape mummy.
Exactly. And then the bad acting is just stinking up the place. Ultimately, it's kind of...
the acting was like good.
No, it was not.
I like the acting.
No, it was completely horrible. And then I guess somehow there's ghost magic, because sometimes it takes over the world,
magic's good.
and then sometimes it doesn't take over the world. And then there's basically no atmosphere through this entire film.
That's not true.
And then they have things, Murray,
with atmosphere.
They have things in this, Murray, like they all of a sudden the ghost thing will take over people, but then doesn't take people over at other times. And there's like multiple times where Kristen Bell should have been taken over by this ghost, and then it never happens. And then her new boyfriend that she finds, he gets trapped in a room with all these ghosts, and then he comes out later and no ghost, no worry, it's all good.
Ted Danson show up at one point?
You know what? It felt like Ted Danson should probably be
they were in a movie about dead people.
This movie, This movie had nothing of any value whatsoever in it. The fact that Bryce found anything enjoyable of this is actually surprising.
It was okay.
No, it was terrible. And the
ending... I was so surprised because I remember hating it, but then I watched it again. I was like, this ain't bad.
No, this was horrible.
I really didn't like it the first time I watched it. Like, I remember that.
This is the second time I've had to watch it.
Yeah, I've watched
it. And I hated it just as much.
This is the second time I've had to watch it. It was so much better than the first time.
No, it's
I think you needed to watch it at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I am almost 100% convinced that you fell asleep at some point.
I did
through
not.
this movie.
I 100% did not fall asleep.
You know what? You've said that at movies where I've seen you snoring.
This one,
So-
I no. I always admit when I have fallen asleep.
Okay.
Anyways, this movie wasn't that bad.
Hashtag Wienergate.
I'm actually okay that I had to watch it. It was all right.
All right, well, you're an idiot, and here is your choices.
What?
It's your turn, bitch.
How is it my turn?
As it is.
Because
Casey
Casey said
said
it was.
so.
Did he? I wasn't even listening.
Of course you weren't.
Okay, where am I choosing?
You can choose wherever you want.
What are my options?
Just start choosing.
There's the audience dare bag, which doesn't have too much in it. We got Merman. Has anybody done a Merman in a while?
Yeah, we did a couple weeks ago.
There was a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I know my bag is pretty ripe.
I don't think you understand at all a bad movie anymore, so I'm gonna go out of your bag there, Jim. You thought Pulse was awful.
Because it is awful.
Yeah, it
It's
wasn't-
completely horrible.
It wasn't awful. It was.
Nothing made any sense whatsoever.
No, it didn't have to because it had so much tension and.
There was there was zero tension.
Plus, I enjoyed the young actors. They were good. They're doing what they could do.
Badly acting.
No, there was no bad acting in it. They
Kristen
were all
Bell
fine.
was horrible. In
Kristen
this
Bell
movie.
was fine.
It's always horrible.
No,
She
she
was
isn't.
exceptionally
Just
horrible.
All you had to do is
stop.
say her name and not to drive me away from that
And then it
movie.
goes-
You know what?
Ghostface.
That Rick Gonzalez is always good.
I think you don't
Oh,
know
I've
what
got
good
two of
acting
them.
is. Well,
I'm just
watch
kidding.
two.
Then you get to watch two.
I'm not watching two. Okay, I've chosen a movie out, just one movie out of Jim's bag, and that movie is. It sounds like it's a Steven Seagal movie because it's got 3 words,
Yes.
but I don't think it is because
Or Van
the
Damme.
Steven Seagal movie is above the law. This is beyond the law.
Yes.
So what the hell's beyond the law? Because above the law is definitely a Steven Seagal movie.
It's a Charlie Sheen.
Oh, Beyond the Law is also a Steven Seagal movie. Is it?
No, it's a Charlie Sheen movie.
Oh, well then I'm looking at there's also a Beyond the Law from 2019 that's Steven Seagal that looks
No, that would
really
be
awful. But I don't think it got released
That,
in a
that
theater.
was probably direct to video.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna. What is it? Charlie Sheen?
Yep.
I like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, you should love this.
Well, how could it be bad?
You mean Charlie Estevez?
Well, that's not his stage name. That's,
No, that's his real name.
but that's not what he goes by. He goes by
Saying.
Sheen. I don't know what you're saying. Very confusing. Anyways, whatever. Who else is in it? I can't find it.
You know what? It's Michael Madsen's in it, so you like him.
There you go.
I do like Michael Madsen.
So it's probably gonna be Mondo for you. This
Might
could be a treat for you.
Is it going to be a treat?
No, it's not.
I think it might be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll find out.
Beyond the Law, starring Charlie Sheen. I think I've seen this.
Of course you have,
I think I've seen this.
and you loved it, right?
I don't remember loving it, but I think I might have liked it okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna find out
It's
next
got Michael Madsen.
week. There you go.
It's got Linda Fiorentino, who I don't really
I like
too
her.
much. I like Courtney B. Vance a lot, though.
There you go. Well, tune in next week, Ragers. Thanks for listening. Thanks to extended Film Rage family. You
Rip
can find in
Torn's
our
in it.
show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film
Love
Rage
Rip
YYC.
Torn.
Check out everything Film Rage at
moved on.
filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 Omega's a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.
Rage on.